These are some good groceries.
Yep, you heard her. These are some good groceries. I know you guys saw the title in the thumbnail and said, what is he making today? I'm gonna show you how to make this smoked salmon candy. You're gonna love it. Let's go. Okay, let's get started. Not many ingredients, but I'm gonna just go over them with you real quick. Of course, we got to start the show with our salmon. Right here we have some water, maple syrup, some dark brown sugar, some kosher salt, and here we have some honey. So that's all we're gonna need to make this salmon candy, guys. Oh man, you're gonna love this one. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, to start this recipe, we're gonna take all our ingredients except the salmon for now, and we're gonna dump them in this bowl, and we're gonna start with our water. This is 2 cups of water. Let's drop our brown sugar in there, maple syrup, honey, and our salt. And we're gonna take our whisk and we're just gonna get this mixed in like this real good. All right, so now we have these baby mixed up. So all we're gonna do now, very easy, we're just gonna take our salmon chunks and we're gonna drop them in here, just like that. And guys, we're gonna make sure we get them all submerged in here. You can do one or two things. You can let these marinate for 3 to 4 hours. I would recommend the minimum 3 to 4 hours, guys, no less than that. Or you can let them sit overnight in this marinade, which I'm gonna do. I'm gonna let them sit overnight in this marinade. Then we're gonna come back out the next day, turn on our grill, and we're gonna smoke these babies on the grill, all right? So let's go. I'm gonna go ahead and cover this with some aluminum foil. I don't have any plastic wrap, but either way, it doesn't matter. Cover it up, stick it in your refrigerator, let it marinate for 3 to 4 hours or up to 24 hours, all right? All right, so here we are next day, about 24 hours in. We're gonna unveil our salmon. Look, I said it right, I said salmon. All right, take a look at what we have. Guys, man, look at that, oh man. So these babies have been marinating, so they should be full of flavor. Now, in this next step, you guys are gonna think it's pretty weird, but I'm gonna tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna take our salmon, let's move this aside, bring over a dish like this, and we're just going to take our salmon out. At the bottom of our cutting board, it may get a little messy, but who cares? And we're gonna shake off the excess like this, add it to this bowl. Well, this is more like a strainer, and you'll see why. We're gonna do this in just a second. All right, so now that we removed our salmon, you wanna reserve this right here because we're gonna do something with our marinade a little bit later. So we got our salmon right here. All right, so you're gonna think this is kind of weird. We're going to run some cold water just over the top of our salmon, just kind of rinsing some of that marinade off. And the reason is because, remember, this was in a salty brine, so you don't want your salmon to taste like, or be real salty. So you're just gonna just run some water lightly over it. You're not just gonna try to drown your salmon right now because you still want some flavor, but remember, it's flavor inside the meat of the salmon because it's soaked overnight, so you're not gonna rinse off all the flavor. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I'm gonna bring this back over to our cutting board, and we're gonna continue our recipe. All right, so now I've rinsed off our salmon, and now I brought over a baking sheet, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna place our salmon on the baking sheet like this. And guys, you can tell there's still some flavor in this salmon. Look at the dark color on it. So, you know, by rinsing it off with a little water, it's not going to kill the flavor. Also, it's still some salt flavor in it because remember, you know, the salt is going to pierce inside of that salmon. So, you know, you just don't want it too salty. That's why you want to, you know, rinse it off. It's rather be safe than sorry. All right, now we place our salmon on our baking rack. We're gonna allow this to sit about 2 to 4 hours, allowing that salmon to firm up. Don't skip this step right here. You wanna make sure you keep this step in here. At a minimum of 2 hours, just let it firm up, dry up right here on this baking rack. You can cover it up. Don't put it in the refrigerator, but just cover it up. Let it sit for about minimum 2 hours. But before I do that, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a little paprika, you know, to the, and you don't have to do this. This is just for me. This is a little smoked paprika. I'm gonna add to the top. Also, just a little bit of cayenne pepper also. Just a little bit, just to give it a little heat. That's it, not much. All right, so we're gonna sit that there and we're gonna come back in 2 hours and we're gonna start putting these babies on the grill, all right? All right, so we're about 2 hours in of letting our salmon sit. And what reason we did that, we want them to dry up and kind of firm up a little bit. We didn't want them, you know, since they were sitting in that liquid, you know, it kind of changes the texture of it. So now it's pretty firm. So I'm gonna move this aside and I'm going to bring in our grill grates. So this is what we're gonna use to smoke the salmon on. So you don't want to have your salmon directly on the grates. What you want to do is you want to cover your grates with some aluminum foil, and you want to place your salmon on the top of the aluminum foil. Now, I'm going to place my salmon pieces around the outer edges as much as possible because I'm using that vortex, and all the heat is going to be in the center right here. And we don't want this baby to cook too fast. We want it to smoke a couple of hours minimum. Now, if you don't have a vortex, what you want to do is take your charcoal, push it to one side, and then place your salmon pieces on the opposite side. You want this to have indirect heat. You don't want direct heat on this or it's going to cook it too fast. All right, so now we have our salmon on our grates. I'm going to head out to our grill. Go ahead and get that fire burning, so as soon as it's ready, we can get the salmon smoking, all right? All right, guys, so I placed about 15 briquettes down here. You don't want to put too many briquettes because you want to make sure you kind of control your temperature. Of course, you know, the more briquettes, the higher the temperature. We want to smoke this at around 175 to 200 degrees because we want to cook it slow. So that's why I'm only putting this many briquettes. We're going to go ahead and get this baby started. All right, guys, so I got a little heat going here. I'm just gonna add a few wood chips that I have. I'm just gonna add them to the top like this. I've already soaked these babies in some water. We're gonna come here, add our salmon to our grill. Take a look at that, man. That reflection makes it look dark. But what we're gonna do is we're just gonna cover this up and we're gonna allow this baby to cook. Now, guys, what you wanna do is you wanna make sure under the bottom of your grill, you want to make sure you have the vents open on the top. You want them halfway open to a fourth of a way open. And so we're going to let these babies sit here and smoke real slow for 2 to 4 hours. All right, we want an internal temperature of 160 degrees. And now, as you can see, it's starting, the smoke is starting to come out. Now, guys, if you want to do it in the oven, you can put it in the oven. You can put it in the oven on 175 degrees, your lowest temperature setting. 175 to 200, and you can cook it for the same amount of time, 2 to 4 hours. Okay, so now while we allow our salmon to smoke for this first hour, we're gonna take that reserved marinade or leftover marinade, we're gonna pour it into a saucepan like this. We're gonna hit that temperature on it, bring it up to a slight boil, and as you can see, as it starts to come to a boil, what we're gonna do is we're gonna reduce this down, let it simmer, let it reduce down, let it thicken, and we're gonna baste our salmon. After the first hour, we're going to start basting our salmon in this particular sauce. All right, so now we have simmered our sauce down. We're going to transfer this to a small bowl. That way we can go out to our grill and we can start basting our salmon. All right, guys, so we're about an hour in. We're going to remove our lid. Let's take a look at what we have right here. Now, forgive me for the noise. They're building a tower over here, so if it gets kind of loud, guys, don't blame it on me, all right? We're about 3.5 hours in. Take a look at what we have. And you may not be able to see this real good because the lighting is bad right here. But guys, I'm fixing to take these babies off this grill, and I'm gonna take them over to our cutting board, and you're gonna see what we got. It looks very dark, so you can't really see the color of it, but once we get them on that cutting board, you'll be able to see it, all right? So let's move over to the cutting board. All right, so now we're on our cutting board. Guys, take a look at this beauty right here. Man, these babies look good. I don't even know if I want to plate them up for you because I just want to eat them just like this. All right, so I've transferred our salmon to a dish. So we're just going to do some garnishment on here. I got some poppy seeds and some sesame seeds that we're going to drop on them like this. Got a few black poppy seeds and I got some sesame seeds here. Kind of do it for a little garnishment. And right here I got a few green onions that we can drop around here. Kind of add a little color to it. And there you have it. Smoked salmon candy. Guys, let me know what you think about this recipe in the comment section below. I left the measurements and the ingredients in the video description below for you guys to check out. Guys, let's go ahead and get into quality control because I'm ready to taste this out. Come on, man, let's go. Okay, you already know it's quality control. We ain't gonna waste too much time. We're gonna waste no time. I'm just gonna show you what we got here so you guys know that this is real. This is real. Take a look at that, man. I know y'all want some of this. I know you do. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna take one of these pieces off here because I'm gonna have to, ooh man, look at that. Oh boy. So I'm fixing to tease you guys. Watch this. Take a look at that. So you guys saw that, how that look inside, huh? So let's go ahead and taste it. Oh, heaven. Mm-hmm. This is heaven. Y'all say heaven? Yeah, heaven. Oh man. Now, you know you're gonna get them people that say, but it take too long. You know we tell people who always complain about being too many ingredients or, oh, it take too long. You know what we tell them? Shut up, get to work. Hey, this is a good recipe, guys. You definitely need to try it. So until then, I'm gonna go ahead and eat this again. I'm gonna have to get y'all out of here because I wanna, I was just holding it in my hand trying to end the video and it just said eating. I'm your cook, Spinelli. This is All Wings Everything, and y'all already know. I'm not a chef. I just cook a lot, and now I'm out. Peace.